friends, Kelly here. Welcome to my channel. I have a very fun project to share with you. I've already made one and I'm going to walk you through how I constructed the beginning and then just kind of walk through what this is. So welcome and start over. Hi friends, Kelly here. Welcome to my channel. Today's project is going to be a fun little, it's not exactly an accordion book, but it's just a fun little book. So I've already made one, so I'm going to give you a little flip through of that and then talk about my other two bases I have constructed and then bring in the supplies I'm going to work with. I want to give a couple of disclaimers for this video. One, I have terrible allergies right now, so my apologies for my nasally voice. I think I said that in my last video. It's still going on. So if there's any like weird pauses or breaks in the editing, it's probably because I'm sneezing or something. And then also it's raining out today, and I have to have my window open because I just need a little bit of fresh air, and it's a beautiful sound. So if you have like AirPods in or something, you could probably hear the rain. And what else? God willing, my phone doesn't run out of storage and this video fully uploads, because I have been having a lot of issues with technology lately and it's making me mental. So there you go. Finally, I said I was going to mention this maybe in a previous video. I don't remember. I've filmed a few things that you haven't seen probably yet that are coming down the road, so forgive me if this is like a weird, like, oh, you already said that. I would love it if you, at some point during this video, if you find yourself enjoying the content, I would love a thumbs up, and I would really love a comment. Now, I will preface that with I am not the best at responding to those comments in a timely manner. I have to prioritize my life, and that is one thing that sadly always kind of falls to the end. But I do at some point bulk go through and I do see the comments. I just don't necessarily respond right away. So please do comment. If you ask a question, I usually try to respond. And if you've ever asked a question and I haven't responded, shame on me and I am so sorry. But the reason why I'm having this little pep talk with you and talking about this is because I recently saw, some time ago, Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, I hope I said that right. She kind of did a whole little speech about it because it seems to me, and I agreed with her, that content creators on YouTube, we don't ask that enough. And if we're not getting that interaction, besides just you viewing the video, but if we're not interacting with you and getting, like I said, the thumbs ups, the subscriptions, and the comments, YouTube algorithms do weird things, and then it's hard for those people to have their videos found. I'm kind of on the cusp of that. I'm not really that concerned about it, but I do want my videos found because I like to know that people are finding time spent with me valuable. Okay, so that's my little pep talk there. So that goes for my channel, all the channels you watch. If you are part of this crafty community, you watch other people's content and their videos, would you start considering that more? I'm also need to be better about it. So a thumbs up and a comment, even if it's a heart, even if it's a smiley face, whatever it is, it's interacting, and that is super awesome. Okay, so let's talk about this project. So I was very inspired by binging, truthfully, some Tim Holtz videos recently. I finally had some time to catch up on basically everything for the last several months, and he's been doing a ton of lives. So I've had to have watched like 10, 12 hours of Tim Holtz in the last week. I caught up on his most recent ideology, his stamps, or Halloween, regular ideology, Halloween stamps, Halloween ideology, I think. And then I think I went back and watched something else. At any rate, it got me very inspired. And truthfully, between Tim Holtz and Margaret from Seven Plaza, those two really sparked creativity again in me a year ago, a little more than a year ago, when I was really, and Barbara actually from 49 Dragonflies, really sparked some creativity in me, and I wanted to capture that again. I wanted to recapture that excitement. So thankfully those videos kind of reinvigorated me. So the other night I sat down and I made this. This took me about, I don't know, 2 days, but little snippets of time. because I do have a very busy family. We just started school again, and so the kids are busy and all the things. So I sat down and I made this, and I'll go through the supplies I used here in just a moment. But first, I just wanted to give a quick view of it. Hopefully, there's not a terrible glare because it is raining out and it's cloudy. I had to turn my overhead lights on, which I don't like. So it's probably doing a little bit of a glare. I used a lot of collage medium, which is kind of new for me-ish. So here's what it looks like. Here's the front side. I was really inspired to use my Tim Holtz product. I was inspired to use backdrops, which I have and hardly ever use. And I was inspired to grab out some of the snapshots and Photomatic. I think I got that right. So that was kind of what pulled me into doing this. So here's the front side, or one side as it were. And then here is the back. And you can see I just used a lot of the little snapshots, Photomatics, whatever they are. And I just loved this project. So I knew I was going to enjoy this. So when I started this process, I made 3 structures, 3 backgrounds, so that I could keep going, because I knew I would love this and want to keep doing it. I did not anticipate filming, but then after I got done with this one this morning, I decided I wanted to turn on the camera and bring you guys along. And honestly, this desk was a mess. I almost turned it on at that point. I was like, well, here I am in the middle of this. Let's keep going. But I decided I'd clean slate it and start fresh. So this, like I said, can be, I guess, like an accordion. So it can stand up like that and be displayed. It can be closed. I did a little closure here, which is making me crazy because I can't seem to figure out how to keep this where I want it to go. Closures are not my strong suit, friends. There we go. Added a few dangles. So what's interesting about this is a story sort of developed. So let me kind of walk you through how this worked. I started, man, I had to blow my nose. I started, as I was starting to say, with this panel here. And like I said, I had pulled out some photos and things. So I started with this panel, and then I just kind of worked my way down through these 4. Then I hadn't done this one. This is the cover, so I hadn't done this page yet. This was the last one I did. So I worked my way through this, and then I flipped it over, and then I kind of changed how I worked, which I'll share with you when I start working on my next one. And I did this side. And what I ended up doing was, once I got through this side and I started working on this side and I got to the end of it, I realized, oh, I really wanted to add another like landscape photo or nature or something. And I forgot. So I ended up going back in and finding this photo. This is a photo of a hotel. These are, I believe, are both actually places in Oregon. I had found these photos for a different project entirely for a friend. So I pulled those out of my scrap box. And here's what happened. I ended up realizing I had a story. And the story really kind of came together when I made this page. And then I was able to kind of work through one of these details to create the story. So let me explain that. One of the things I'm using, one of the products, is these clippings sticker book. I have no idea which release this is from Ideology. I don't even remember buying it, quite honestly. But they have all of these just random things. And I decided I wanted to use it because I have it. I'm not one for sentiments, really. I share that in common with Margaret. But I do like the weird little sayings and little snippets of things. So if it's not kind of, cutesy or, mushy, I guess, then I can handle it. So these really aren't sentiments to me. They're just random things. So this one says, lucky him. This one I did says, I know that I am home. And this one says, to be cheerful and optimistic. This one says, a look in her eyes. So, when I carried that through, I did all of this in kind of batching, which I'll talk again through when I start this project with you again. But these ones say, oh, sorry, I'm so sorry for the sniffles. Oh, man, these allergies. I'm so ready for it to be done. This one says, he was ready and willing. She was herself again. He was an extraordinary talker. I thought that was funny. She spoke from her heart, and this one, the music of my heart. So here's the story that I have come up with. This is a proprietor of a hotel. I think that's the right way to say that. So I have decided that this is the hotel, whatever hotel it is. And the person that runs this hotel, owns it, maybe it's like an older woman who has just seen a lot in her life, who maybe did a lot of traveling, did a lot of just connecting with people, and that's really where her heart is. And so now she owns this hotel, and when people come to visit and stay with her, or stay at this hotel, she gets to know them sometimes, and she just kind of captures a bit of their story in this little album. Now, isn't that romantic and cute? Doesn't that make this kind of all of a sudden a totally different experience? So let's say this is a couple that comes on their honeymoon, and she's just a delightful woman, and he is just a super nice guy, and she just thinks, lucky him for nabbing this beautiful woman. Maybe this is actually a tourist destination in the area. People go to see this mountain. There's a lake in front of it. Maybe they love to go and do picnics. Maybe this is where she is originally from, and so this is like very near and dear to her heart. Maybe this was a woman traveling, and she was just so bright and fun and cheerful. Maybe this was a very kind of mysterious woman who had an interesting story that she wanted to capture. You go on to the next side. This guy here, maybe he was a traveling entrepreneur or something, and he was a gambler. So I put the card in because I was thinking, oh, what if he's like, you know, a casino guy or a gambler, plays cards or something. Maybe she saw him playing cards a lot with some of the other people that were staying there. You know, maybe he befriended an elderly person that was always in that area and played cards with him. Who knows? Here's another maybe single traveler, which probably in the era that this is, I don't know how many women were traveling singly. I know I would. I do it. Maybe she was kind of lost and didn't really know. She'd lost touch of who she was. Maybe she'd been through something traumatic. Maybe she'd lost a loved one, or something had happened in her life. And when she was spending time here, she kind of reconnected with herself. So she was herself again. Maybe this is just a young couple, or maybe there were two people that met while they were there for some reason. Maybe this was like more of a boarding house than a hotel. I don't really know. Maybe people stayed there for extended periods of time. And maybe he just was like kind of a smooth talker, but maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the true love moment. And this one here, she spoke from her heart. Maybe she was just like a beautiful author, a poet or something, who came to the area to really capture the beauty around her and write some beautiful poetry or something. And then this young man, what if this is actually one of her relatives? Maybe this is a grandson or a nephew or her son. And so she just, maybe he spent some time with her. And so she put his picture in there and said, the music of my heart. Maybe he's a musician. See where I'm going here? Fun, right? So that is my little album here. So now I want to take you on a journey of a new story that's kind of popped into my head. So let's move on to the make. Okay, so I have two more structures, I guess we'll call them, ready to go. So I'll talk through, well, you can see they're different sizes. So let me talk through how I made these. Let me grab out some supplies and talk through how these came together. So here's how this started. I have a bunch of offcuts here, but this is what I started with, a good old file folder. I love having these on hand because, one, it's not white. Two, it's got a little more tooth and structure to it. It's a little thicker. Probably not, I would say, as thick as a cardstock. I think it's maybe a little bit lighter weight than that, but it works well, especially if you're going to put paper onto it. And the size. Like it's, I don't know. I don't even know how long you go from the, well, it really isn't a longer end, but let's just, every time, let's give it a rough. So that's 12. So it's got to be, almost 16 inches, 15, 16 inches wide. So throwing things all over. This is what I began this project with. So this is just strips of a file folder. So I decided that I wanted it to be 3x4. So each panel would be, get rid of that, a 3x4 panel. So what I did was I did some math, and I also wanted to leave myself some room for some sort of a closure system. So this is an inch right here, and this is 3x4 times 5. So you do the math. That's how long this is. And I just used my my big scoreboard to score at 3 inches, and that left me with an inch. So that would make this 16 inches. So there you go. However, I didn't have, so this is actually this one, and this one. Hopefully you can see that. I did not have, because it's not wide enough this way, tall enough, however you want to look at it, enough to make 3 that are 3x4. So this little guy is 3 and 3.5 is the panels. So you can basically make it any size you want. This could be much bigger. This could be a tall, skinny one. It could have less panels, and maybe it's just, well, you'd make them smaller. 3 panel, I don't know. You could actually even hinge together more. So I could have hinged, more panels together. You really can just, or just use a different piece of paper, or use, maybe open up a cereal box or cracker box or something like that. Basically, you can make this as big or as small as you want. But this is the size I went with. So I have 2 of them here. Now, the paper, that was a fun adventure. What I did was I grabbed I have 2 of the backdrops. I have volume 1 and volume 3, apparently. And I just went through, pulled them all out, and picked out papers that I guess I just liked. Okay. So I went through, and what I'm looking for, because I knew that my project is going to be portrait. So I needed to make sure that it would be a design that would work that way, or cut it so that it would work that way. So I'm not going to use any of these big photos, although I did see, who did it? Is it Susie Shabby Soul something? I just can't pull it together in my head right now, but I think on one of Tim Holtz's videos for ideology, maybe. One of them. She used this big photo and was like the inside of the front and the back cover. I thought that was brilliant. So I'm definitely going to take that idea and run with it at some point. So I'm very excited to use those at some point. Anyway, so I basically just went through and pulled out whatever papers I thought would work. Like that would work, patterns, things like that. So here's kind of an example of what I used. So I know this piece, I'm never going to use that. It's huge. I have no idea how to use that with the scale it is. So for sure, this was the piece I was going to use. And some of these, I feel that way. Like, that's just humongous. What I don't know what I would ever do with that. Thankfully, the backs usually tend to work out. Although this one was interesting because it looked like a big book. And that one I did think was just enough of a interesting background when you cut it up that it would work. So anyway, you get the point. So these are actually just all the backdrops. These are what's left of the ones I cut down. So that's what I started with my paper. You could use scrapbook paper. You could use digitals. You could use whatever paper you like. Man, I'm really getting tired of not being able to breathe. I can tell I'm getting more nasally, so my apologies. Here's some more offcuts because I really kind of also cut the paper sometimes strategically. This is probably the only piece that's not a Tim Holtz backdrop. This is Maggie Holmes or crepe paper, I forget. But I just needed one more thing that had like a feminine pink yellowish quality to the one I'm going to work on today, and I'll explain why here shortly. But I have all of these left over. So I could do this project again, or just 3x4 is a good size, I feel like, to have. Also, when we get towards, let's see, these ones, I have a future idea. I want to do another one of these. I'm probably going to do a lot of these. These might be like my favorite go-to creative exercise when I've been in a slump or haven't done much and I just want to work on something fun. It reminds me a lot of those little books I did with the little mini file folders, and I'll make sure I link that because that was a fun project with little mini books. But if you look at these, here's where a future project is coming to mind, because there was a piece of backdrop that was like a campground map or like a camp map, and there's this tent. This one says awnings and tents, got a little tent there, but plus the background is lovely. This is just a fun, interesting design, and there's more of them, but these made me think that a cute little one about camping or campers or something would be a fun one. So I'm gonna hold on to that idea and come back to that at some future date. But here's another thing you can use. Oops, these are, I forget what they're called. I think they're called pocket cards. It's a Tim Holtz, but they are already, there's a whole bunch that are 3x4, and there are some that are, 3x5, I'm guessing. I actually used one of these for this cover. Just happened to pull that out. I'm going to probably use another one of these for, oh, you know what? I decided no, I wasn't going to. Well, scratch that. I had originally thought about using one of these as the cover of the next books, but I changed my mind. But there's also great, if you don't want to invest in the backdrops, but you really want the Tim Holtzy paper, this is another, really great product you could grab, because it does have, like, that side's collage-y, that side's plain, and some of the similar papers. So I'm glad I have these, and they come in handy. So you could use that as well. Okay, so that's the paper, and I'll talk through kind of how I made my decision on what papers for which book. This one was more just, I don't know, I kind of just went with darker toned papers and more basic background. I kind of did a mix. This floral one really grabbed me, and so when I decided I wanted to use this floral one and it's got black in it, I knew that I kind of wanted to go that route. So this one here that looks, the other thing about this one is it looks like it could be, I don't know, some sort of chalkboard that like bookies write stuff on back in the day, maybe. I'm sure I saw that in a movie somewhere. And then again, this is that one that's like a book, the backdrop. Anyway, so that's how I chose those papers. I just kind of knew I wanted something a little darker. Then for my next ones, this one, I decided I wanted to go more feminine. And what kind of sparked the idea for where this is going to go is this panel right here where it says dressmaking. And this one has like bits of fabric or textiles like cotton or whatever it says. This is just because it's pink. Here's that floral again. I really loved this grungy yellow background. And then on the other side, I'm using that blue again. I grabbed that pink. This one is just like an interesting piece that looks like it's some sort of catalog or something. I liked this one because it has a little bit of print here, and this one just looks like, notes. So there's a reason for that. I'll come back to that in a second. And then this one is where I needed that extra pink. And this is also like a Project Life card. And I think this is a crate paper. This is a digital. Okay, so this one is a little, apparently I decided to go away from the Tim Holtz thing, because now that I look at it, these are all digitals or scrapbook paper. So there you go. Doesn't have to be Tim Holtz. But if you have a bunch of Tim Holtz products, or you don't want to have digitals, or you don't have a collection of scrapbook paper and you just are starting out and you just like the Tim Holtzy style and you just buy all the product, that's what this project's going to focus on. Not because I'm on the design team or getting anything out of it. It's just because I have a lot of the stuff, and you might too. But here's one that shows you an example that it is not Tim Holtz, and it can be digital, scrapbook paper, whatever you want. Okay, so I have no idea what this one is going to be eventually, but I set myself out for something cutesy, something feminine. This one is going to be about seamstresses. I don't know much about seamstresses. I don't even know if that's how you would say that. But, women that sew. That's where I'm going with this. So some of the work I've done is I've, again, picked out my papers. I've also inked, done all the inking. So I inked the manila folder piece, the strip. I did inking all around the edges because I wasn't sure how much you'd see, and you don't see much, but just enough. So I've done that throughout, and then I went in, I used tea dye for that, and then I used scorched timber to pull in that black that you see in the print and, you know, in this paper. I did, and kind of this grungy, I wanted to use something a little darker, and so I decided scorched timber would be my color. That's the only time I'm using this, most likely. Once I do all my other inking, it's my typical tea dye vintage photo, because those are great. You can't go wrong there, in my opinion. So then the next thing I did was I got out my sewing machine and I did a little bit of stitching just to give myself something in the background. Here I went all the way around. Here I just went this corner, mostly because I strategically wanted to leave some threads out. I might trim them down a bit more, but here I wanted to have one coming out the bottom. There's one at the top. Here I started and finished in the same spot at the top. And here I just went up and down. And actually, I did it on this side here, and these two I did it on this side, so that when I close it up, nope, this way, I have some strings coming out the top on either side and some on the bottom. Okay, so now that I have my structure and my background's done, which takes a load off, let me tell you. If you think you're going to do this project or want to do this project, do it in kind of bite-sized pieces if it's overwhelming to sit down and do the whole thing at once. So the first thing I did was just simply do the inking, do the paper, and then, again, you could do the sewing or whatever other little thing you want to do in the background. Take it step by step if that works for you. Next, let me pull in all the other stuff I'm using. So I have this box that is basically Tim Holtz, mostly Tim Holtz little snippets, ephemera packs, things like that. Little tiny photo. I've divided some of it out. Like these are the teeny tiny photos that come in the, I think, snippets pack or whatever it is. I also have scraps of collage paper, which I used a lot of in the last book I made. Yeah, so I have this at my disposal. And then I've already pulled, when I was working on the other one, I started pulling stuff out I really liked, and I just couldn't fit it into that project, so I set it aside for maybe this project. So this is just a little tray of stuff, which as I get creating, it'll just be strewn about. But I already have a few things here. Again, I want to use this clippings book. I don't have the Tim Holtz cello tape yet, but I still do have some of this vintage love tape from First Love Club. I have a couple sheets of this, so I'm using this for now. I do believe you could still get this. If so, I will make sure to link it. And then I have some collage papers. So I have the rolls. I do now see why having the sheets is great, because yeah, you do end up with all these pieces. I had this stuff everywhere, so I had to come up with a storage solution. So here's my storage solution. This is a piece of laminate I ran through my laminator, because I just wanted to make sure it would stay shut on one end. I didn't want to have to worry about glue, so I just stitched down the side, but glue probably would have worked fine. And then I left this side open, so it's a folder, and then to secure it, I'm just using a couple of paper clips that aren't too bent open, so they kind of are a little tighter fit. And this way I can see through it. One issue with this is that it wants to stick to the laminate, so we'll see how that goes, but I thought this was a good storage solution if you need a storage solution for scraps of collage paper. There you go. Okay, let's go through this, see what I have out so far, and let's get to creating, because this is going to be a long one. I don't know if it'll be a multi-part, but it's going to be a long one. So let's see what I have here. I thought this was really pretty, and I might try to put it over two, maybe. We'll see. Kind of like that idea I was talking about with the backdrops, big photographs. Maybe that would be the kind of the same idea. I found this key. I don't know that bugs are going to make it in this one. I want this one to be a little more, I don't know, feminine. I have a few pieces of little round bits, little square bits, some color. I'm not sure which color is going to be in this one, because if you noticed on this one here, I tried to incorporate a pop of red or some bit of red in each page, each cluster, because really that's what these are. They're clusters. Red, 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 red. So I really figured it out by the time I got here. It just accidentally happened here. I think by the time I got to this one, I went, oh, I seem to have a little bit of a trend going. So that was kind of one of the things that I did. I picked a thing that I carried throughout. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Let's see what else. Oh, here was another fun thing. Just keep this out. Which side did I do it? I added a few elements of florals, because there's florals here. And I added some butterflies. There's a couple butterflies there. There's a floral. And then I just cut a butterfly in half and just put half of it there. I really liked that. I'm not even going to close that up again. Here's another little kind of background image. I'll get the photos out. Again, because I was adding butterflies and florals, I have some of those out still. I'm not sure that these things are going to make it into this one. Here's a bit of red. Here's a little tiny, I don't know where this came from, tag. I thought this was really pretty. These are actually a digital that I cut apart and glued together to make these little playing cards, and I just thought that they were very cute and feminine. Oh, the sun's coming out. This is done raining. Okay. At some point, maybe I'll turn my overhead lights off. That never happens. But here's some of the ladies I pulled, but I need far more. I'm kind of thinking each one, except for maybe the cover, will have a lady. So let me grab out my, whatever these are called. So here's my little collage box that I keep my little photo thingies in. I have some scraps of photos, and then I have all my Tim Holtz, these, whatever these are called. I used to keep the, maybe those are called snapshots. Okay, these are photo strips. These are Photomatic. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. And snapshots are the ones that are actually like pictures of things. I think that's how it is. At any rate, this is where I keep all those extras. And then any digitals that I've printed and cut apart. This is where I got those other, like there's that hotel again. It's just extended. So I don't have anything in here that would be like seamstressy, but that would be kind of cool if I did. Here's an ice cream parlor. This is just like the inside of a hotel. So anyway, that's what's in this box. Okay, let's dig back in here. Let's see what we have so far. And I do like using the various sizes. So let's grab out a scissors and start going through. I don't want to use any children. She's pretty. Any ones that are a possibility are going to go over here. Okay, let's see. This looks like my grandma. Every time I see this photo, I think, is that my grandma? It looks so much like her. It's kind of weird. Okay. Well, let's see here. I like this one. One day I want to do a project where I don't cut any of them apart. And I just maybe use like a whole strip of people. I don't see that very often. I feel like we don't do that very often. Now I know there could be a man in this, but I don't want there to be. Okay, that's a possibility. Look at that couple. They're striking. I love it. I get so many ideas when I go through these of things. Oh, she's got a cool hat. She should be a seamstress. Yeah, I just get so many ideas of what would be cool to do. She could be a seamstress. I mean, they all could be, right? Let's see. I don't want to have too many that are small, so let's see if anything else jumps out at me. I love that one. They look like they need to be, I don't know, fashionable of some sort. Maybe, I don't know. She's so pretty. Okay, those are some potentials. Oh, for sure, her. Yeah, Let's see, what else do we have? Hey, that's the same guy. Huh, that's funny. I like this one. Let's see. Gretchen. I will never be able to use that one because it'll just feel like I don't know. There's Grandma again. If you're wondering why I said that, I didn't really elaborate. If you follow Margaret at Seven Plaza, she did an amazing project 2 years ago, maybe now, with this cute little field notes journal thing, and she made an identity card, and this actually says Gretchen on it, and then she just called it Gretchen, so it's like a whole thing. I think, how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and some of those. Let's go with another big one. This is a long process here. I probably could edit most of this out, but I probably won't. Here's why I'm like, oh, that'd be cute, but I also have an idea of like something with friends. Same with that one, which I don't really want to use those. That one, she looks like she needs to be like, I don't know, high fashion or something cool. Here, let's go with this one. She looks like she's unsure of her abilities, but she's probably a fantastic seamstress. Okay, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 of the big ones. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 9. Okay, let's go with this lady here. I already lost track. I need 2 more? Okay. Who do we have here? Her, her, or her? I'm gonna go with this one. Because I think she looks like she could be a nurse for a military style idea. And again, she looks like she could be a little bit more, I don't know, something sassy. Okay, that was a very long process to just pick out some photos. And now we have our ladies. Okay, so I've got my ladies. Now, I am going to push myself to not be super literal here, because it'd be really cool if I had sewing styled things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just use what I have, my Tim Holtz ephemera. I also have, let's grab some of these, a whole bunch of this stuff. We have layers, so there's going to be some flowers, things like that. I have 2 packs of that. Here's another layers. Wait, is this one is remnants. There might be some good stuff in there. I'll pull it out. I have, oh, is that like a color swatch thing? They're transparencies though. I don't know if I want to use those. And that's kind of another one. No, not going to use those. But I wonder if this ephemera pack, it's like the palette one, the colors, there's got to be something good in there. I'll pull that out. This is a travel-y themed one. Not going to use that. These are definitely more feminine colors, so I'll leave that out on my desk. And this one is, what is this one? Keepsakes. There's probably something in there. Okay, so those will be all of the things I'm going to use to make my little collages. So here is my process. I kind of figured this out as I was going through this last book that I made. What I ended up doing was basically building clusters for each one on one side, get it all done, and then I'll flip and do the other side. But what seemed to work is to build my clusters, then do my paper destroying and my inking, then doing my gluing down. So I think that's what I'm going to do again. So I think what I'm going to do is talk through that. And when I do the edit process, I'm going to decide if there's enough information that I'm giving you in that to leave it in which will make this video longer, or I might add music and speed it up. So maybe I'll do the first one for sure with you, and then we'll see how the other ones go. And then I can come back and talk through any ideas or decision making that happened that could be beneficial to you, because I feel like sometimes that's super helpful. I love a flip through, but lately I really am like, no, I want to see how you built the layers, because I am struggling. But this will be a great exercise for you if you were struggling with layer building, because I feel more confident in that having just made this little book. Okay, so let's see if we can pick out our leading lady here. I have, let's see, here's what I have. There will be 5 on this side. So keeping that in mind, I think what I'm going to do is put like maybe 2 of the big ones on this side. You can go on the other side. And then we'll do, oh, I have the pair of ladies. Okay, so something like that. Although it's going to drive me nuts that I don't have it like, but I'm gonna resist that temptation, and I'll probably do something like that. It'll probably look different by the time I get to it, but it's okay. Get some of that stuff out of my way. All right, then this side, I think I'm gonna do her there, her there, maybe the pair there, and this lady. See, I'm probably gonna end up covering this up, and it's gonna drive me a little bit nuts, make me a little sad, but you got to get over that. So it'll be something maybe like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so she's gonna be the leading lady. We need, yeah, I don't think this is gonna cut it for me here. I also have, I could do a piece that's not, nah, I don't know how those will work in. Now I don't know how this would work in either. I'm gonna save that for another adventure. Blue butterfly. Do that butterfly wing thing again. I'm already going against what I said. Work on one at a time. That's why I end up with all these things ahead and above me, because I'm like, oh, that would be cute, but not on that one, not on that one. Let's see. I think I want to use that. I'm thinking I might bring this in. It's a texture. That's kind of one of the things I was like, oh, I don't know about that. Let's see. I found that I did these 2 steps last, so I'm going to set those aside. And I don't know if I'm going to use collage paper this time. I wonder if maybe I should try stamping. Well, let me have a moment where I can think about this, because I do like that there's collage medium on the backgrounds. It kind of gives it like an interesting texture. And it was fun to use the collage paper, but here's the thing. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't really know. But like here, it didn't go completely translucent. And I don't know if that's because it's over a darker paper. Because here it looks more translucent, but I don't know. It kind of bugged me a little bit. So I think I'm not going to do collage medium. I don't think I'm going to do collage paper this time. But I do have some rub-ons that I never use. And I do have a whole bunch of new stamp sets that I could use. So let's get this box out. And I think that might be what I'm going to do. I might do some rub-ons or some stamping. Let's see. So like this one, stamping isn't really going to probably show up. But I do have, where is it? Oh, please. Forgot about these. I have these tapes, specifically white. Do I want to incorporate that? Is that going to be a mistake? Let's take a quick peek. Because if you're going to use it, use it. This isn't necessarily a Tim Holtz thing, but what if I added in some white? Oh, I kind of love that idea. And I think I'm going to do it. Because think about seamstress. Don't they like write on patterns and stuff or fabric with like a white pencil. I don't know. I really don't know how that works, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use some of this. I've been holding on to this, hoarding it for far too long. Okay, what end did I decide? This one? There we go. Probably gonna add a weird shiny quality that's gonna drive me a little crazy, but it's okay. So I guess go back a second. And the other thing I think I'm gonna do is address the background. I might just do all of them at once. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this because it's shiny. Ooh, what to do? I think I'm making a mistake if I put this down. Yep, I am not gonna like that. Alrighty, scratch that. I'm gonna try to salvage this, put it back on the film. Save that for another day. I can't do it. The shininess will bug me because the whole thing won't be shiny. So I think rub-ons it is. So let's see what we have to work with here. I wish I could get my hands on the, was it 49 and Market makes a lot of rub-ons. I just don't really see those. And I haven't spent a ton of time looking online. So if you have an online source for that brand that is, I can get in the US, I would love for you to let me know. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna put some rub-ons down, and hopefully this isn't a mistake because of the whole dark background. But again, we have it. Let's use it, right? So I'm gonna do it right here. The nice thing is it's gonna go over that flower. Okay, where's my, I have a tool for this. Is it this? I think it's this. I think it's this. Yeah. All right, let me get these rubbed on. Yeah, that was definitely the right choice. Oh, I love that. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely rub-ons. Okay, I'm going to do them one by one. I'm just going to work on this panel real quick. Get all the things done and then work my way down. Okay, so what's going behind this lovely, lovely lady? Let's see what's in here. Okay, I went through all of my collections of things, all my ephemeras, and I found a nice little pile of things. So now I feel like I can move on with clustering here. I was feeling a little stuck for a moment, but now I feel better. So let's see what I ended up with here. I pulled out, well, I don't want to put florals on the floral. That would be weird. But a butterfly would work. Like something in the corner. Maybe throw in that purple. I'm going to try my lights off for a minute. Oh, that's better. I was having a difficult time seeing the faces because of the glare. So hopefully that works. Hopefully the lighting is okay. Okay, let's see, what else did I grab? Okay, so something maybe like that. Okay, I like that one. Moving on. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna move all of these out of the way now because, oh, wait. Oh, I just saw something. swap out the 5 for a 2. There's 2 of them. They look like they're sisters or twins. Okay, so now I feel like the first one's always the one that needs a little adjusting, because once you get in the groove, you're like, do I like that? I don't know. That's better. Okay, so now I'm carefully going to lift all of these pieces off. It'll end up looking totally different once it goes back on the paper, because that's just how it works, right? Especially when I start inking, and so I'm not even going to try to keep them in the same spot. I know how that'll go. So I'm going to take everything off, because now I know my clusters to some degree. There'll probably be some modifications, but got my clusters. Okay, so now I did a rub-on here. Where did my rub-ons go? I'm going to do a few more. So, oh, that was what I wanted to do, is kind of get an idea of where the rub-on was going to go. So I think if I had it kind of like that, I think this corner could use something. Oh, I want to use that right there. How am I going to do this? Like this. I'm going to cut there. I knew I was going to have to do this eventually. I already forgot what I was looking for. What was I trying to grab? Oh yeah, this number. No, that circle. That's what I wanted. Well, could be the number also. Whoop, not upside down. Thank you. Yeah, I think I want that circle. Good thing it doesn't matter how you cut that. All right, little tool. Okay, the circle is gonna go right there. I swear I have a different tool. This is not the thing I use. This is the thing I use. Yes, that's better. Okay, I should have left those on there. I'm going to do that on the back side for sure. What's going to go there? Ooh, how about this? Oh, there's a lot of writing already. Form. Oh, that could be cool. Let's see. Ooh, I could put the word perfection. I think that's what that says. Yes, let's do that one. I like that. Man. Ooh. There we go. What else is happening? I don't know. I got nothing else. Just trying to get through everyday life. Ooh, I have some crafty news. I had talked about this probably last year at some point, or I don't even know when, but for those of you who don't know this, I actually have my own line of stamps. I only have a few currently available. Excuse me. I designed my own stamps a couple years ago, specifically for a kit that I made for a class I taught. I couldn't find what I wanted, so I made it and discovered, like how to get it all manufactured and the whole works. So then I made a couple more sets, and they were geared more toward, oh darn it, Bible journaling and that kind of world, memory keeping, those kinds of things. So I have a set that's sold out currently that I have every week. People asking me, when are you going to put that back in stock? So there's a need, but it's the books of the Bible. So I'm thinking it's probably time to restock that one. And I talked about wanting to put together a stamp set that would be like, how did I describe it? Like names that you could use for like ID cards and just signatures and stuff like that. I really want something like that, and I want a lot of them. So last week I actually found some time to sit down and start really conceptualizing that idea, and I'm so excited because I went through and what I created is basically a whole stamp set. It's going to be like, I think like a 6x8 or 6x9 set that will have names, tons and tons of names. And I basically came up with, and it was really funny to come up with the names. I came up with male and female names, like kind of vintagey old style names. Hopefully it doesn't offend anybody. That are every letter of the alphabet. So there is a first name for every letter of the alphabet. And I also came up with kind of what could be also last names. Again, there's one for every letter of the alphabet. Where did I have this? I really didn't pay attention here. And then I came up with a couple extra things like, I'm going to call the stamp set, I think, Sign Here. So as if it was signatures, and then also maybe kind of letters like sincerely, dear, madam, Mr., Miss, things like that. I don't know where I had this. Oh, I'll figure it out. I think this is this spot. That's where it's going. So yeah, I'm super, super pumped. I'm so excited to get that rolling. And I have some other ideas. Oh, handle of care. Let's use that one. I have some other ideas that are in the works. I think addresses, same kind of vibe of, and I know there's some designers out there that have come out with things since I started talking about this a year ago. So boo, I missed my opportunity there, but not really. We can have more than one. But I think addresses would be super fun, and things like that. So I think I'm getting closer and closer. There's a lot of upfront costs with developing and manufacturing your own stamp sets. You gotta, I'm one little person, so very, very small business. So I would have to be able to purchase all of, my inventory basically. That is so cool. I am loving this. So to do that is an investment, and then better hope it goes well, but I think it will. My stamp sets, I think I'm thinking I'll keep it this way if I can. Is I ship internationally, worldwide, and I have to decide about shipping. Currently I offer free shipping worldwide, which doesn't always work out. I have shipped stamp sets to Australia and I've actually lost money because the shipping costs so much that by the time I get done calculating my profit, which I think my prices are very fair. Once I get done calculating my profit and the shipping costs, I've lost money. So I've basically just been like doing some friends a favor. They've basically paid for the shipping of free stamps. That's what it kind of feels like, which doesn't really bother me that much, because to have somebody using something that I created out there in the world for joy to make something is just is so cool. So it doesn't bother me. But is that sustainable? No, probably not. So I think I'll have to figure out shipping. But I'm also thinking, like, I don't know the ins and outs of this, but like if I want to be able to sell overseas, right? In Europe or something, maybe what I can do is find a shop that is small enough that they can make their own decisions. Like, I know Margaret has a shop in the Netherlands called Doeding. I hope I said that right. Maybe there's an opportunity there to ship over, a large quantity of my things. Maybe there's like a wholesale pricing. I can get somebody on board with purchasing some of my stamps and then stocking them. So I don't know. That's really far down the road, but it's definitely a dream of mine that I want to do that. I also have been thinking more about opening up my own Etsy shop with selling physical product, like making kits of just random papers, vintage papers and stuff out of books I've found. I don't even know if you can do that. I don't know if you can sell 1 and 2 pieces of a book. I gotta research that. If anybody knows something about that, let me know. Because that is another thing I was thinking. Basically what I'm trying to do is get back to a place where in my life where I can start generating income for my family that allows me to also do what I love. And that's craft and spend time with people like you. So I'm not interested in quitting my job per se, but I'm not opposed to it. I like my job a lot though. I really do. But I don't see myself doing that forever. So just something that's bobbling around my head that my husband and I briefly talked about recently. I don't know. He's probably like, sure, Kel, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, you said that last time and I started my own business. Unfortunately, it was right before a worldwide pandemic, so that didn't really go super well. Okay, so that's just kind of an update on my life and my crafty business or crafty world. So all I'm doing now is just destroying the paper. I love calling it that. Whatever you call it, I call it destroying paper. I'm also taking off a bit of the excess around these. One of these days I'm actually gonna trim around the whole photo, but I kind of like this extra little border that you get. So I'm gonna leave it, but I'm going to rough it up. So I'm going to do that for the rest of these pieces, and then I'm going to ink them with a combo probably of vintage photo and tea dye, probably mostly vintage photo because I like the darkerness of it. Is that a word? Darkerness? I think it might be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back. Well, friends, I have all of my items ready to go. They've been inked and distressed, and it is about a month and a half after I filmed all of what you have seen so far. So it turns out that those allergies that I thought I was suffering from in the beginning of this video was actually a cold. So I ended up being sick, and then I ended up being sick, having allergies, and then being sick again, and then life got busy. So I had put this project on hold because I really wanted to finish it with you guys. So I am back, I am less nasally, and I feel a whole lot better. So let's keep moving on this project. Before I jump back into the project we were working on, I wanted to share something with you real quick, because even though I had to take a break because I wasn't feeling well, I still was enjoying this project. And so if you remember the other little mini base I had, I made something with it. So let me show you real quick what I did with the second base, or third base, I guess. I made this cute little accordion book, again, with a theme. And these are all yearbook photos. So if you remember, or if you've seen my haul video from, I don't even remember when it was, I'll link it. I had found this yearbook, and what I did was I took it apart and I took a page from in this yearbook here somewhere, a page much, actually, this is it. This is one of the pages, and I scanned it, and then I printed it, and I came up with this project. So these are little photographs from the yearbook. I also, when I printed it on photo mat paper, and I printed it at like 120% or something, just because I wanted the photos to be a little bit larger. So if I go back to that page, any page really, you can see the scale is much larger. These photos were just a tiny bit too small. So I printed those, and I ended up having a little bit of playtime here. So this is the book I made. Actually, I kind of prefer this to be the front. So this is, again, the same process. I did some stamping. I did the clusters. I have the different people. And the other thing I did, I got some Tim Holtz, what's it called? Grit paste. And I had never really played with it, so I decided this would be an opportunity to play with it. So I smudged a little bit on and then tried to ink it. I had no idea what I was doing. It was a mess. But it was a fun little experiment. I'm not terribly sad with the outcome. I mean, it's fine. It didn't really, I don't know, add to or take away. I won't be doing that again on this project, but so there you go. So even though it has been well over a month since I have worked on this, I actually did do another one. So let's jump back into this one. One thing that I did when I knew I wasn't going to continue on with this project with you guys was I grabbed out a little box, and all of the little bits of ephemera that I had pulled out, I just put right back into this little box so I'd have them ready to go. I also ended up grabbing, I think I switched out 1 or 2 girls possibly, because I ended up getting another pack of one of these snapshots or whatever it is. So I may have changed out a girl, so we might have a different cast here. I don't quite remember. And then the other thing I hadn't talked about was I grabbed out just a whole bunch of little bits of, I don't know what you call these little things. I grabbed things. And I want to add some dimension, so like a dangle or something. And then one of the other things I have here is a needle and some thread, and I thought I might somehow incorporate that in since these are seamstresses. I hope I'm saying that right. Okay, so let's see, moving that aside. I also kept these on my desk the entire time I was sick and haven't been crafting. The rub-ons to do the backside, the stickers to do the storytelling, and I have to grab the cello tape here also. So, okay, moving back into this project. Let's see, what side was I working on? This side. So as I had said, I had to rewatch my whole video. I've actually edited half of it, so I'm ready to go. But I had to go back and rewatch it because I had no idea what I had said or where I left off. And I just watched it yesterday and I've already forgotten half of what I said. So, and as I had said in my, previously in this video, is all of these things will probably end up going back in places they weren't original to, and that is very much so now that I have had a month away from this project. It's truly been like a month and a half. So it'll go, I don't know, something like this. So again, you kind of saw me work through how I'm going to put these clusters together. What I'm going to do now is just go ahead and glue this all down. I'm going to go ahead and either just skip that part with you guys or fast forward. You'll find out before I will. So let me go ahead and get these all down. Okay, as you can see, nothing is basically in the same spot. So that is totally fine with me. The only thing I would change is I wish I hadn't put these 2 ladies in the same position. But that's okay. It's fine. So the front side is now done, other than the cover. I'll come back to that. And so now I'm going to work on the other side. And let's see what we have to work with, because it'll be a surprise. I don't remember any of this, even though I just watched my own video yesterday. So let's see what we have. And I will do that same process of just building up some clusters to decide what I'm going to work with. And this side I have 5 ladies to work with. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a moment because I want to explain a little bit of a roadblock I hit. And that is this panel right here. I'm really struggling with the dark colors and I don't really want to change out any of the photos. I really like this, but I need something else. And what I think I've discovered is I need something pink. So after going through several different things, I realized I have these collage strips. So I pulled out the ones that had pink on them, and I decided I'm just gonna snip something off of here to add into here somehow. So that leaves me with a bit of a struggle still, in that I will still have a lot of like square things. I want something that's different shapes. So like I have flowers, I have a butterfly, I have the flowers, I have something round. I have nothing like that here. It's all very square. And then over here I have flowers and round. So I'm thinking this might be an opportunity for another butterfly to peek out somehow. To break up that line, I could also use that one. I kind of might just use that one. And then I need the pink thing. So I'm thinking. I really kind of like that. Because it says something about trunks. And let's see, of course there's always just a simple, hey, that says drawer. I'm gonna use that. That's interesting. Kind of fits with this whole idea. It's still square. That's still a problem. But now my eye is drawn to this little circle here and drawn to this butterfly. So that broke everything up just enough for me. And then maybe I put a pointy finger in. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. Okay, once again, I have all my clusters done, and it's time to bring in my rub-ons so I know where I'm putting things. And that will actually probably also help my issue of breaking things up, especially since I can use things here that will help me create that interest. Okay, so let me take a look and I'll figure out what's going where. Okay, I have all of my rub-ons done, and look at this. I have my phone. I took a photo because guess what? I got a new camera. I have a dedicated camera just for filming. No more pesky running out of storage. I am beyond excited about that. And this is super helpful because now I actually can see what it is I want to do. So time for inking, distressing, and gluing. And when I come back, we should be done with all of that. And then I can add on the little extra bits and call it done. So this side is done. I'm gonna just try to move out of the light. No, the lighting will be terrible. Bummer. There, I turned my overhead lights on to kind of help fight that shadow. But I don't know how this is gonna turn out, but we'll see. No, there's a glare for me, but that's okay. Okay, this is gonna be like the longest video. So this side is now done. I love how this turned out. I did end up realizing I forgot to do a rub-on here. I added an extra piece behind there, an extra piece here. I just love it. I think this one's my favorite. I think she's so cute, and I don't know, something about her photo I just love it. Even though this one's probably the most simple because it's kind of square, but okay. So now that we are done with all of that, we have this closure situation and something to do for the cover. So things I kept out were this thing here. I thought was really interesting. There's also this pattern thing here, which I think I'm going to save for a different purpose, because I could see slitting this open and using it to put like a cute little like slide something in it in a different project. So that's going to wait, but I do like this, but it's way too white. It's like a gray white. The other thing is the closure, which I'm going to use, I think that and maybe this piece. So I'm going to move everything. I might keep you, and I might keep you. There was one other thing I liked, this ruler. No, I think that'll be it. That'll be enough. I think that's what I'll work with. So, and a rub-on, a rub-on. I'll pick something out. Okay, so let's get this done. And then the final thing is to add the story pieces. So let's do this cover. First thing to address is this piece here. It's far too white. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take antique linen, and if I can find my dauber, seriously? It's always the last one, isn't it? Well, we'll find out how good this new camera is and the lighting when I do my editing. So hopefully this is not gonna be useless footage. That will be a total bummer, but that'll tell me that this video was never meant to be. Which I refuse to give up. Especially since I spent so much energy when I was sick filming, and then the fact that I've held on to this for over a month and a half. I really want to see this project come to a close, and I want to share it with you guys. So I'm just inking my butterfly just to get the white edges off. I'm not going to do any destroying, I think. Yeah, I will. Where did I put my tool? Just a little. Just a tiny bit. I really do think that makes a difference sometimes. It helps create some texture. It helps things to not be so flat. So it's not something, you know, that always has to be done. And it certainly isn't, inking and destroying paper, distressing edges is not necessary for a project like this. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you like it to be nice and clean and flat. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Something maybe like that, and then a rub on right here. So it doesn't have to be anything huge, just a little word maybe. I could use stamps, of course, but I really do like using the rub-ons. They are fun. Let's see. Okay, so on this one. Oh, Finest in the World would have been a good one. It doesn't really fit, so it's not going to be that one. Orders attended to day or night. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe that signifies that this is, well, let's actually, that goes down a way I don't want to go. To say, maybe this signifies that this is an all 24-hour factory, but that sounds awful. Kind of. Maybe not. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe that was actually very beneficial to some people because then they could, you know, work in the evenings when, you know, their husbands were home to take care of the children. I don't know. Is that something that happened in this age, this era? Okay, I think this will work. There's some stitching there, but I guess we're gonna find out. That is maybe a benefit to a rub-on, because if I was trying to stamp over some stitching, that would definitely not work. So let's find out. Don't want to forget about the star. If that was the way to go. Get out of the way. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Okay, what's this? That's scraps. All right, cover. Did I ink this? Yes, I did, but I don't. Let's see, I want to do a little more right there. There we go. Glue. All right, so that's gonna go there. And then this is gonna go right to the side. I kind of had it more to the side. There you go. And our butterfly. Shirts are the cheapest and the best. I don't really want it to say cheap. I don't really want to cover that either. No, it's gonna have to be. I guess I didn't have to use a butterfly, but I wanted to. Now it needs one more thing. One more little thing over it. A 5? No. This says bread. It just needs like a little number. Let me find, oh, here, I found something. No, I want it long. Where's my snippets box? Had to rearrange my office. Oh, sorry, that was loud. Had to rearrange my office a bit, and now things are not as close by. But it opened up my office space a little, and I like that better. It's not so claustrophobic in here. Ooh, how about something green? Oh, wait, this is interesting. It's a shape. Yeah, and it's kind of pink. All right, we'll go with that one. And let's see. All right. So, almost done. Yeah, there we go. That is just what I needed. Okay, now on to this part here. I need something in the background here. I don't want to just have it be this plain. It needs a piece of paper. And I was kind of wondering if I might just cut. No, that's not big enough. I need a scrap. Let me find a scrap real quick here. I think I have something in here I can use. This is pink. Is it long enough? It is. Okay, I might cut that up. There's just pink paper. Nope. There's something else. I know I had another. Here it is. I used this on the other one. I thought that was very pretty. It's got a little bird on it. Where's my other one? Yeah, see, I used it here and then I put a little bit of collage paper over it. What's on the inside? And the bird's on the inside. The little stamp. Or, no, that's collage paper. Let's see. I'm going to do this on one side. And the ruler is going to go on this side. I'm going to use this bird paper. Okay, let's see. I just need it to be right about there. Where'd my scissors go? Oh, here they are. Okay. Maybe a little too long. Got a cute bird. I really want to capture that, although probably most of it's going to get covered up anyway. So I'll just use this side. Eyeballing it here, and just a tiny bit more off. Kind of cut that bird's head off. Oops. There, that works. Okay, we'll just do that. A little bit of ink. I think I might have got more on my fingers that time than I did on the actual paper. I feel like I'm speed crafting all of a sudden. I just want to get this done. Okay, and then I'm going to put this ruler on there. Again, I'm just inking it to get the white edge off. And apparently I'm also wrinkling it. That's how that ended up happening most of the time. My little technique of wrinkling the paper and inking it is because I bend it accidentally because I'm clumsy. Okay, there's that side. Now the other side is going to have, where is it? This guy. Probably gonna have to cut it down a bit. Yes, all right. I'm gonna cut it here. I'm not getting rid of that because that's good stuff. And I think it needs to be cut down a bit here. How are we doing? Oh yeah, that looks great. Okay. Okay, I got that done. So now, let's see. Let's close it up and see how it looks. Oh, oops, I forgot about that. It looks pretty cute. The problem is, I forgot, this has to bend over. Oh, now I don't know if I want that like that. All that, and now I don't know if I want the closure. It's really cute on that side, but I kind of want to be able to see that. So, guess what we're gonna do? You bet I'm gonna cut it off. It's all right. There. I am okay with that. I'll use that in something else, not to be thrown away. It will be fine. This is a little darker ink, but that's okay. I'll ink it that way. It's a little different. Okay. It'll go over here. All right. So no closure, which I'm fine with because it's so cute. Okay, here are the things I want to finish it with, and then the little story bits. So I forgot about this. I was going to add this somehow. now I kind of want to put it maybe just tucked in somehow, like that. Oh, that's cute. Okay, how am I going to get the string to stay? I'm going to use glue. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue a ton underneath there, so the needle is sticking under there, and then I'm just going to put a bunch of glue there because it will dry clear. I can get my big fat fingers out of the way. Okay, that's it. I need something, not my fingers. Ugh, now I'm covered in glue. Here, I'll just use this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put a big glob of glue there. It will dry clear, and that is fine. Just put that there. There. Okay, that's how I'm handling that situation. So that'll dry, and then I keep doing this. Glue doesn't like when I do that. I wanted to add like a little dangle, which I think I'm gonna do on this side. So here's what I have. I have this. This is a clasp for a, or this is some sort of thing for jewelry making and something to do with bracelets, I believe. There's like a little, I think you clamp it onto fabric or leather or something. I don't really know. But I bought them because I clamp them onto paper products like this. So that's what I'm gonna do. But I think I'm gonna do it this way so it hangs over the side. So I need to get my needle nose pliers and then clamp it on. Then I have a bunch of beads and cute things that I grabbed to attach here. And I was kind of thinking, what is this? Is this actually open? Oh my gosh, yes. It's a little locket. Well, I'm not using that. That's special. We need to use that for something special. Is this open? No. That's kind of big. It's cute though. That's too long. I'd cut it. But I'm missing a piece here. I can't put beads on if I don't have a thingy. That's the word I'm looking for. A jewelry piece thingy. How about, I know, because I was going to do a closure and I was going to put the beads on like I did this one here. That's why I have beads, but no thingies to put the beads on. So instead, I'm just going to do this. I am a-okay with that. I could clip one of these off and put a pearl on there too. I think I will. Let's see. Maybe 2 pearls. We'll go with 2 pearls. So I'm going to open it up, close it again. I'm too lazy to get out my jewelry tools, so I'm doing it this way instead. It's probably not the best way to do this, but these are rather dull, so I think I'll be fine. I just need it to go back. Come on. There we go. Okay, let's see if this works. I have the jewel on, and then these pearls. Oh, that's cute. That's super cute. Okay, then I'm gonna have to get out my jewelry kit because I'm not strong enough to clamp this. Or am I? Let's use this again. Good enough. Okay, so let's get these out of the way and take a look at the final project. All right, it's gonna be a while before that dries, so I'm anxious to get this, to look at it and be done with it. So it's got a little dangle. That's cute. It's got like a little rose print on the one side and a jewel on the other side, so that's cute. Then when we open it up, we have this side. So now we just need to add our bits of story. So this might take a minute. Let me go through and find some story bits. Okay, it is done. So let me do just a complete walkthrough. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this has been a hodgepodge video all over the place, and I might have been filming part of it without my microphone on. So yeah, this just needs to be done. But I love this project. I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's take a look. So on the front cover here, it's still drying, but I have this little needle glued down with a bit of thread. I was going to dye the thread, but I forgot. So it is what it is. The other thing is that I went through the clippings sticker book and I started to look for words that would tell the story. And actually I took a few out. This says she was a true friend. She didn't press her luck. She stood her ground. And I wanted to try to find things that would kind of share qualities of these women. But then I came across the sticker that says Mrs. Eurus Pettigrew, and I decided to change my idea and give them all names instead. So that is what I did. And then I even changed that name. Oh, and look, I just saw there's a name on here, Lillian. That's my daughter's name. Okay, so let's do a walkthrough here. So the sticker here says these women. And let's just open the whole thing up because I think it tells the story better. I like it. I like looking at the whole thing. So I have my dangle here. That turned out great. I love how simple that was. Here we have Mary, Mrs. H. They're just going to call her Mrs. H. Priscilla, Mary, and Jane. I love that there was a sticker that had two names for those two girls. So beautiful. Flipping her over, we have Alice, Maggie May, Mabel, Annie, because it already says Anne on the photo. I was so pleased to find that. And Adeline. Doesn't she look like an Adeline? I just love it. I actually am very happy that I found names for all of these women to give them some personality. And there you have it. So an accordion style little mini book, however you want to call that. So again, taking this whole idea and just looking at this for practice, exercise, just pure joy of making something and making something that's not huge. I mean, this really didn't take very long. It took me a long time because I filmed it, but honestly, it really didn't take that long because just in the time I've been filming today, I was able to, even though I'd already figured out this stuff, I was able to that was already done. I was able to glue this all down, and then I was able to flip it over and work on an entire another side. So break it down into pieces. That makes it much more manageable and honestly much more enjoyable. So now I have this adorable little book that is themed, and I am very excited and happy to have it done. So that is all for this very odd video. So thank you for sticking through to the end. And if you liked what you saw today, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I promise that all my videos are this drawn out and all over the place. Although maybe some of them are. I don't know. I just love creating for you guys. I love spending time with you. I hope you enjoy spending time with me and you find value, as always, in this time and inspiration. Ultimately, that is what I am hopeful to provide to you, is some inspiration and encouragement. So I will see you guys next time, and I think we'll be back in case closed. Otherwise, I'm going to be sharing a kit building or something to do with nature. I'm feeling very field notesy, so we'll see what we come across next time. Until then, bye friends.